Alright, so in today's video we're going to get a little bit serious at one point, and to prove that, I'm going to show you just how serious I am. I did notes. That's right. I mean business today, so fasten your seatbelts and prepare for the serious side of me. I don't have a seatbelt. What's up, everybody? It is your boy Bishop, and today, as you can see, bringing you guys a video with no Black Ops on it, because I basically just didn't want to talk to you guys, talk about my weekend. And like I said, I want to get into a little bit more of a serious topic too later on in the video. But to start it off, going to kind of talk about UMG South Carolina. As you all know, I was there over the weekend. For those of you who watched the stream, some of you tweeted to me that you saw me, sent me pictures of where you saw me and stuff like that. So thank you for that. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys got to enjoy it. And also, you got to see that I'm not lying. You know, I have something in my mouth. Never mind. Weird. What the hell was I talking about? God bless it. I'm still sleep deprived. I'm not going to lie to you. I probably slept a total of 6 hours, Saturday to Sunday. I know for a fact I slept 2 hours on Sunday night because I fell asleep at 2 a.m., woke up at 4, had to get to the airport for my flight, and then it was just nothing but stop over in Atlanta, stop over in Minneapolis, and then I finally got home to Arizona. So, still kind of recovering a little bit right now. I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't mind a day off, but I'm not allowed those right now. So, to get into the event, obviously, I wasn't there on Friday. I had to work, so, you know, I have to be able to pay for everything that I do. But then when I got there Saturday morning, it honestly was so much fun. On my final flight into Myrtle Beach, I was blasting some music in my ears. I was partying in my seat. I couldn't wait to get there. I couldn't wait to see everybody. And then as I got to when I got to my cab, the cab driver actually knew what I was doing. It was funny because I got in there and he's like, "You're one of those people that's going to the video game event." And I was like, "Yeah, how did you know that?" He's like, "That's all I've been taking back and forth to the airport is people are getting off the planes and they're going to the event for the last couple of days." So that was pretty fun to hear. And then when I got to the venue, I walked over to where the event was going to take place. Got my placard and stuff like that, and immediately was greeted with hugs, handshakes and stuff like that. Everybody was really happy to see me, and I really appreciated that. As the more and more people I ran into, the more and more, "Hey, glad to see you, so happy you're here," as I got. It was a lot of fun. I want to thank UMG for having me back, of course, and I want to thank Meg for inviting me back. Hopefully the next one we have, I'll be able to be there, you know, Thursday through Sunday like I usually am, but as I said, it was a work thing, so unfortunately I couldn't get the time off. But, you know, I'll get into the Friday stuff later on. That's going to be the more serious side that I have for this video. But Saturday, I had walked into the issues. I learned what was going on and how to kind of fix all of them. So that was a learning experience. You know, the matches went on. It was good to see the guys. A lot of the players, you know, were saying, "Hey, what's going on? How you been?" You know, they talked to me. It was a lot of fun and I appreciate that they remembered me. I even had a couple of them tell me that they remembered me from Dallas and DC, and they were happy that I was back as the ref because a lot of them have the opinion that that they like to have somebody that's a little bit more grown up. I can't believe I was called grown up, and mature in the booth with them to make sure everything runs smoothly. So I always appreciate the compliments from the players. That's always a good thing. Obviously, as you guys all know, Rise Nation ended up winning it all, so congrats to them. Another team of just great guys. They were a lot of fun to be in the booth with. We were cracking jokes, commercial breaks. Not going to name names, but someone farted in my booth, so I had to. So we had a nice little chuckle at that too. It was a good time. thanks to all the sponsors, Scuff and Control Freak, or I'm sorry, and G Fuel. I don't know if Control Freak was there. And Jerky XP for being there. G Fuel especially, because they get me through the events with the nonstop free G Fuel that they offer to the people who work the events. So that's always appreciated by me. It was a constant. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say craziness, but I mean that's what a constant madhouse. Let's say that. Something was always going on. I know that a lot of people out there don't get to work the events, but I always tell everybody whenever I talk about them, do it. Give yourself a chance to go to an event and see what's going on, because it's a lot of fun. It's nonstop moving. The one thing that I could do without is the constant standing all day long, because I refuse to sit down. So it is all my fault, but I refuse to sit down, because as soon as I sit down, I'm basically not going to get back up, because by the end of Saturday, I could barely feel my back. My feet were numb. My legs were kind of starting to give out. But I pushed through. So it's happened every time I've gone. But I mean, they're long days. They're 12+ hour days. So it's a lot of standing around and waiting to get things going. And there's a lot that goes into these events that a lot of people don't realize. But yeah, like I said, I had a great time. I can't wait for the next one. I hope they announce it soon, and I hope I'm able to be there for the whole thing. So now I'm going to kind of get into the side that I want to talk about most with people out there. And I don't really have any other better way to kind of express myself, so I'm going to try and hopefully do it with this.
You stupid, dumb shit, goddamn motherfucker!
Boy. That escalated quickly.
So I hope that kind of got my point across. I'm going to keep myself as composed as I can, because I take a lot of pride in these things, in these events that I go to, and working them and making sure that everything is working properly, and that there's as little delays as possible. But on Friday, when I was flying out from Arizona, I was watching the stream. And obviously I was watching when everybody else was, which was an enormously long break due to the controller issues. And the part that got me, and like I said, I'm going to try and stay as composed as I can and not be swearing and getting my rage fits going. The part that gets me is when basically a mob mentality takes over. And that was one of my notes, just so you know. Basically what it is the stream blows up with UMG sucks. FUMG, these people are horrible, UMG doesn't know what they're doing, and there honestly couldn't really have been anything farther from the truth. The issue, which has been tweeted out and had other YouTube videos made, was the controllers for PS4 are Bluetooth connectivity. And anybody who has a cell phone knows that there's Bluetooth on there. And any type of wireless signal can kind of screw with the Bluetooth connection. So that's why the players were having such problems. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because that's not a UMG issue, okay? That is a PlayStation issue. And the part that you guys don't see is that night, representatives who were there with UMG were on the phone with the people at PlayStation until 2 a.m. talking to them and telling them about this problem that they're having and that they need a way to fix it. Now, unfortunately, there is no immediate hotfix for the weekend that they can do to fix this issue. So what it came down to was before every match we had to pull the players or the captains aside and tell them, listen, you guys have to play through this. If your controllers start to lag or give you a slow turn, or if a random time when you're aiming down sights, your aim just shoots off for no reason, we got to play through it. There's nothing we can do. We upgraded, not upgraded, but we updated all the PS4s on the main stage that I remember. I don't remember. I think all of the side stage ones were as well. But we updated them to the recent software that we could. We made, every change that we could. We changed out the wires connecting the controllers to the PS4s. We even gave them PS4 controllers. We did everything that we could to make these things work right. But unfortunately, due to all of the wireless signals that are in there, because we can't tell people at the venue to shut their phones off, we did tell the players. The players did shut their phones off when they were in the booths because that just helped to get rid of another signal. Now, maybe it didn't have a problem, or maybe it didn't cause the problem, but we didn't want to risk it. So it's like, turn them off and let's just play through this. Now, if a player had a situation where their guy did like a 360 and ran off the map or something like that, yeah, we stopped the match. Okay? And then, of course, we had to go to commercial, and we had to fill with some interviews, and we had to do all this stuff so we can get things working right. We were in such a panic mode about this that being in the booth, I was pretty much hoping and praying the entire time for nothing to happen while these guys are playing, okay? Now, the reason why that is because I was tired of it happening, and I know that they were tired of it happening, but being the pros that they are, and understanding that what we were going through was not a UMG thing is the reason why these guys are pros. Okay, I've thanked so many of them on Twitter, and a lot of them have responded and have said, hey, you know, that's the breaks. There's nothing that anybody could have done. It's an unforeseen circumstance that not a lot of people would have known was going to happen. So, you know, I got to give a lot of thanks to people like Hex and Crim6 and Scump, and I'll try to remember to link their videos below, but they say it right in their videos. It was not a UMG thing. It was a PlayStation thing, okay? Karma and Fizzerp tweeted out during the event that it's just an unforeseen circumstance. There's nothing that anybody could do because they all saw these people online just raging at UMG. UMG this, UMG that, and it's not UMG. This is the part that's starting to get me kind of boiled over. The mob mentality thing that I was talking about is one person says UMG sucks, everybody else in the chat starts going along with it. Now, unless you're there, unless you are working the event, unless you are behind the scenes working with production and being there and doing all that stuff, you are clueless. You have no idea what's going on. You have no room to really talk about what's going on. And this is why I tell everybody when they ask me about the events and how I got to where I am and, you know, how I'm doing all this stuff with them. If you think that you can do this stuff better, then get off your asses and go and work an event. Until then, you have no room to talk. None at all. Okay? Because you don't know the hard work that is put in for 5 days by the people who, like myself, are volunteers, who don't get paid to do this, who go out there just for the love of Call of Duty and work their asses off for sometimes 16 hours a day to bring you guys these events. And for you guys to hate on the things that are happening is not something that you are allowed to do. Until you put in the effort, until you put in the work, you have no room to talk. Because guess what? If any of you were there, I guarantee you, none of you would have known how to fix this issue. None of you would have known that in order to stop the controllers from having issues, you would have had to go into your devices in your menu and remove all the Bluetooth devices that were connected. Now I'm going to tell you what happened. Every time a player set up their account on the PlayStation, each and every single one of these controllers pretty much has their own Bluetooth connectivity code, like an IP address. Okay? So say, for instance, we had a match, and Crim6 is on one PlayStation. Okay? After their match, FaZe comes in and enables on that exact same PlayStation, and he hooks up his controller without deleting Crim6's. The PlayStation is going to be looking for both of those controllers, which is what caused the issue. Now, you guys can tell me right now, and you guys are going to go ahead and say, oh, I would have known. You wouldn't have known. Okay? Which is why there was such an issue on Friday. Okay? Which is why the stream was down for so long. Now, I'm going to agree with you when I saw some of the comments, like, they could at least jump in and give us an update. Absolutely. 100% agree with you guys. They could have cut in. They could have had, you know, one of the casters come on and say, here's what's going on. This is what's going on. We're sorry for the delay. And I agree with you on that. I totally agree with you on that. But they were more focused on getting things fixed so they can keep the tournament running and keep it running on time. Okay? Now, even after all this, even after all these issues that happened, okay, come Sunday, we actually got ourselves 1 hour ahead of the stream of our schedule. And we actually had to fill. So when you guys saw all those G Fuel and Jerky XP commercials, that was us working with production, myself included. Working with the production staff to go, hey, we got to fill because we have to wait on Envy, who's on side stage right now, playing their match, and they're scheduled next on main stage, but they're only in map 3, and they're up 2-1. So how are we going to fill this? Because if we put another team on main stage, that's going to interfere with when Envy's done, and that's going to put us behind schedule. Now, obviously, I didn't see the comments then, but I can only imagine that people are like, oh, why does this take us so long between main stage matches? Well, there's why. Okay? We are not going to interrupt their matches on side stage to tell them to go, hey guys, pause where you're at, get on main stage so we can stream it. Okay? Now, like I said, I wasn't there on Friday, so I don't know where there wasn't a Bravo channel. I cannot talk to you guys about that. Usually there is, okay, but for some reason there wasn't this time. I don't have an answer there, so I apologize to you for that. But then later on, we had the same issue come up. Envy's on main stage. On side stage, you have FaZe playing their game. I think it was against Liquid. And while Envy's also still on there, Optic had to start their game on side stage as well. Well, when the Envy game gets done, guess what happens? Those two games are going on the side stage. And I know people were periscoping it to bring the content to the fans, and that was great by them. You know, that was a great idea by them, and it was good that they did that. So, you know, you guys could see the stuff that was going on. But then we had to make a decision, and again, we were like, should we stop their matches and bring one of them onto main stage? And that's when we went, you know what? No, let's put Rise and DT on main stage and let those guys finish up, and then we will work from there. Well, what ended up happening anyways was we ended up actually getting pretty lucky and having the eventual champs on main stage for the next 3 matches and finishing up the tournament that way. Now, of course, I hear from a whole lot of people, why weren't FaZe and Optic on main stage? That's the way the scheduling goes, okay? To alter the schedules once they're in and still try and keep the tournament going, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of pieces that have to fall into place, and unfortunately, they didn't fall into place that way. So, you know, the fact that people are going, well, why wasn't Optic on main stage? Why wasn't FaZe on main stage more? Because they were already mid-match. Okay, and like I said, to stop them mid-match and to stop any momentum any team may have, they wouldn't have wanted that. They would have been upset. The players would have been very upset about that. Okay? So that's why we ended up having to put Rise and DT on main stage. And like I said, there's no reason for anybody out there to hate on the decision that was made, because the decisions were made on the fly. Because if we didn't put DT and Rise on main stage at the time that we did, we would have been filling for at least an hour before the Optic and FaZe games were over with, who, by the way, lost and wouldn't have been on main stage anyways. Okay? So as you can see, I'm very frustrated about the fact that people jump to conclusions when they have no clue what's going on. So I'm going to end this, you know, in the nicest way possible and bring it back to what I said earlier. If you think you can do better, get onto UMG's website, sign up to be a volunteer, and go and volunteer. Okay? Until then, as I've stated many times, you have no room to talk. You have no room to judge what goes on there. And you can keep complaining, you can keep being your little keyboard warrior selves, typing in the chat about how stuff sucks. But unless you are a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. It's your boy Bishop. I'll talk to you guys later.